We begin with more protests across the U.S. as authorities investigate Thursday's sniper attack in Dallas, Texas. Officials say Malik Xavier Johnson acted alone and told police that he wanted to kill white people, especially police. 5 officers were killed, 7 officers and 2 civilians were also wounded. Now, the officers in Dallas were killed while protecting a crowd who were protesting peacefully. That march was in response to 2 other tragic events, the deaths of 2 black men in encounters with police in separate cities. Overnight, protests broke out in 13 cities across the U.S. In San Francisco, men and women descended on City Hall, protesting what they call a racist police system. Protesters also flooded New York's Grand Central Station, angered by police violence, demanding justice. And tensions flared in Baton Rouge, that protest ending just hours ago as ralliers clashed with police in riot gear. Some were placed under arrest. And in Phoenix, witnesses say police used pepper balls to block a crowd from moving onto the freeway. 3 were arrested after throwing rocks at police. Meanwhile, authorities are trying to get inside the head of the gunman behind the deadliest attack on police officers since 9/11.
Is that a cop dead? Cop down. Dude, that's a cop down. Dude, that's a cop down. Yeah. There's 4 cops.
This was the moment 25-year-old Micah Johnson started firing shots at Dallas police on Thursday night as protests were wrapping up. Authorities say he had at least 2 guns with him when he unloaded into the crowd. He had served in the Army Reserves, and more guns and ammunition, as well as bomb-making materials, were found at his home. There was also a journal that's now being analysed. Before he died in a standoff with police, Johnson said he was angry and that he wanted to kill white people. The families of the men killed by police this week in Louisiana and Minnesota are speaking out. Police shot Alton Sterling several times on Tuesday after a homeless man called 911. A source says the man kept asking Sterling for money and Sterling brandished his gun. The mother of Alton Sterling's oldest son spoke with our Don Lemon.
It's unbearable pain, and especially being a mother with a teenage son, and it's like, you know, what's the next thing that you tell him besides I love you? And everything is going to be okay. We have to stay together, we have to pray together, and honestly that's what's really been keeping me and Cameron focused, with the help of my family as well.
The fiancé of Lynda Castile captured the moments after his shooting on Wednesday in a live Facebook video post. She says a police officer shot Castile after pulling him over for a broken taillight, and he went to reach for his wallet after being asked for identification. Diamond Reynolds called for justice during a news conference on Friday.
It's about all of the families that have lost people. This thing that has happened in Dallas, it was not because of something that transpired in Minnesota today. This is bigger than Philando. This is bigger than Trayvon Martin. This is bigger than Sandra Bland. This is bigger than all of us. So today, I just want justice for everyone around the world.
Well, anger over police violence appears to be driving a wave of attacks on officers. They have been targeted in shootings in Tennessee, Georgia and Missouri, and serious online threats have been made against officers in Louisiana. In all, 1 person has been killed, 3 other officers wounded, and 3 suspects taken into custody. For more on this, Malik Aziz is the Deputy Police Chief in Dallas and the Executive Director of the National Black Police Association. Great to have you with us. Our thoughts are with you and all the police in Dallas. Just give us a sense of how you're coping in the wake of this horrific ambush.
I think that, you know, officers out here, if you would like to use the word coping, we're struggling to find our footing, suffering such a tremendous loss. With the loss of 5 courageous, brave officers, we're struggling. Our hearts are heavy. Our hearts are broken. the city is feeling for us, our residents here, our community. We're in pain. We're just overall feeling like we've never felt. In my 27 years in law enforcement, I've never felt this type of pain to lose this many officers at one time. It's unbelievable grief, and coping would be that would struggle to find the real words outside of just coping, just trying to put one foot in front of the other and still police this city and still provide services to our citizens. We're struggling.
Yeah, no doubt. And of course, it's not just Dallas, but other cities have faced attacks on police officers to a lesser extent. How would you describe the tension right now between some members of the police force and some members of the public?
I think the public are giving us overwhelming support. The citizens here in the business community, they have showered love and support. Behind me, 2 police cars decorated with candles and cards and thoughts. They've sent out food to every police station across this city. Numerous emails, text messages from around the world is in this city. I think that part of the community is propping us up right now, helping us struggle to get through this in a time of great tragedy where we've lost friends and peers. We've lost brothers, sisters, husbands, fathers, and sons. We've had a tremendous loss, so we're trying to put one foot in front of the other, and the community is really helping us. And I would say, even as regards to the protests, with the Black Lives Matter protest, a very peaceful protest at that time, 1,500 to 2,000 people, and police walking side by side, protecting the protesters, but also taking pictures and posting selfies on social media until the gunman decided to take actions into his own hands. So they too have been interviewed and saying, we're struggling to understand this because this kind of violence is not what we were looking for. They've said it themselves.
And just quickly, I noticed that huge memorial, but behind you, looks like a lot of people turning up to pay their respects.
Yes, people are out here. They're coming out here in droves to prop us up and show their support, their love and support. A simple thank you to a police officer goes a long way. And so what we're seeing, we're feeling a great amount of love and support in our time of great need. So, and they're showering us, and we appreciate this and thank them for coming out here. And last night, 2 ladies came up to me and said, I just want to hug you. I was in my uniform, and they said, I just want to hug you. And they gave me 2 of the biggest hugs that I've ever had. They squeezed me so hard that I've never been hugged like that. They just wanted to tell me that they loved me and they love police officers, and they just wanted to show their support. And that kind of demonstration of support from the community, it goes down to our hearts, even though they're very heavy.
No doubt. Malik Aziz, I hope that love and support continues for you and for your colleagues there in Dallas. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Well, still ahead, the British Prime Minister doesn't have much time left in office, but he is trying to reassure NATO that London remains committed to European security. We'll have the latest on the NATO summit from Warsaw just ahead, plus 2 tennis champions face off for the Wimbledon ladies singles title. We'll take you to the stadium for an update.